Welcome to Sir Peter Paul Rubens Week on the Dr. Duke Show. One of the most interesting painters of the Counter-Reformation. The Counter-Reformation, of course, was the Catholic Church's attempt after the Protestant Revolution, the Protestant Reformation in the early 16th century, to push back. By 1645, you had the Council of Trent, and Catholic theologians got together to try to figure out how to respond to Luther's great movement. And so a lot of this was, how do we change the perception? How do we get our house in order? And one of the things they did, which I thought was, which actually historically turned out to be very successful, was to promote exactly what Protestantism was trying to get rid of, imagery. Right? One of the Catholic Church has always been based on imagery. Paintings and sculpture have been part of the Christian tradition for the first 1,520 years of its existence. One of the things Protestantism wanted to do was to downplay that, to take away a lot of that visual replication, all that visual imagining of what the holy things were and might even look like. Rather than conforming to what the Protestants were doing, using reason to do away with symbolism and icons, the church doubled down. And you had one of the great artistic movements in human history. You had the Baroque. The Baroque is dedicated to oftentimes outlandish visual images of faith and of God and of angels and of the biblical heroes and of day-to-day saints walking among us. And so the church made at least culturally anyway, made a wise decision, one that, because again, this is still an age where most people can't read. So if they can't read and they can't see pictures of the holy stories, then their faith is really constrained. And so the church made a smart move in the short term at least, and gave us, among other things, the Baroque. Take a look at this picture. This is not a Christian picture. It is a picture of the three graces. Go to the larger image here. The three graces in Greek mythology, remember the Renaissance and then the post-Renaissance era, was big going back to classical Greece and Rome and back to the Bible to represent Christian truths and the cultural art and rationality of the ancient Greeks and Romans. So in Greek mythology, a charis, or a grace, is one of three or more goddesses of charm, beauty, and nature, human creativity, goodwill, and fertility, together known as the charities, or the charities, or the graces. The usual roster, as given in the ancient poet Hesiod, is of the three: Aglaia, who meant shining; Euphrosyne, whose name meant joy; and Thalia, whose name meant blooming. And so you see our three prominent graces here. And one more thing I would point out to you about this really pretty picture is that, my friends, is the definition of Rubensesque. The word Rubenesque has come into mainstream English language because of Sir Peter Paul Rubens, because he paints a certain kind of woman, a woman that looks like that, fleshy and human and not photoshopped and not anorexic, full-bodied, unabashedly fleshy, unabashedly curved, unabashedly feminine. This is what's known as a Rubenesque portrayal of a female nude. And so what you've got is Rubens reaching back to the classical past to bring forward an idea that of the particularly caritas, charity, is at the center of Christianity as well, and to put together these ancient figures, these three graces, as a reminder of all sorts of cultural factors and religious ones as well, if you can see through the Greek tinfoil, the Greek gauze that masks them.